Well, finally, all these panel discussions, they become mammals with all men all the time. For once, the balance is tilted in the favor of the women. Thank you so much. Big round of applause for the fact that we have 3 women panelists over here. Doesn't happen all that often in panel discussions. Great to have all 3 of you. I'm going to begin by asking a simple question. The term wellness is a Western term. Right, we are supposed to be well 365 days of the year. That's why we have so many festivals and vrats and everything from physical wellness to mental wellness, from pujas to chanting. We keep doing something in India as part of culture for wellness, and that has always caught the eye of the West. Beatles in 1960s to now, to Coldplay now. They're all here for that idea of wellness, because let me just redefine the term wellness. It's not just wellness as in going to a wellness resort in Rishikesh or in Coimbatore. It is overall wellness. The questions that Westerners ask, how are Indians smiling all the time? How is it that they are so happy all the time? How is it depression is not like the major issue over here? So many people, such limited resources, and yet we are over here. I'm going to put that into a context and go, when it comes to developing tourism in India, traditionally we try to copy the European model, have some big tourism sites, monuments that people will come for. But that's changing. And let me go back to Rishikesh again. Look at the kind of resorts and properties that Rishikesh is witnessing. And it is witnessing tourists from India and abroad. Right? Let me begin with Sadhviji, and then I'll come to you as well. The mind, it's all in the mind, they say in English. But that comes from Indian culture and philosophy, isn't it?
First of all, I would congratulate TV9 Network for taking up this brilliant initiative, like we talk about mental wellness, because this is absolute important to us today. And Krishna, like you spoke really well, and we Indians are happy all the time, We Indians are smiling all the time, and I guess that is the biggest strength that we carry. And talking about, like you said, there are resorts opening, wellness resorts in Rishikesh and everywhere, but mental wellness is above that. If I talk about mental wellness, I'm reminded of a very important Sanskrit verse from Gita. Lord Shri Krishna says in chapter 6, Udre dat manatmanam, natmanam vasadait, atmaiv hayatmano, banduratmaiv ripuratmana. What does this mean? It carries very, like humongous importance to us, to Indians. It means that one should elevate oneself on the mental health level, because as humans we are comprised of physiological level, psychological level and spiritual level. And why we Indians are happy all the time? Because we are aware on all the levels. But what happens is, once you go outside, like you said, from which band you said? Yeah, Beatles to Coldplay, yeah, of course. You're absolutely right. They all look towards our country. They all look towards us. Why? Because India has always been an emblem of spirituality. And if I talk about mental wellness today, because this is one such subject which we often tend to overlook. And I'm really happy that we're talking about it, because physical health, we all are very much aware of it. We rush to doctors even at the slightest sign of fever, But when it comes to mental health, we find it as a stigma, which is not right. We do not feel like talking about stress, anxiety, depression, but it is the time. The silence is the cost that we pay, and it is the time that we break it, I would say. And one thing more I would like to add on to it, talking is healing. We must talk about it. We must not think that if we talk about stress, depression, to samne se kya sochenge, oh my God, she or he is leading one of the industries and still in stress. It is normal. We all are human beings at the end of the day, and it is normal to carry stress. But to heal stress is a big deal. To handle stress is a big deal. So I would sum it up by saying that we all must learn to handle stress in a beautiful way. And India, people, they look up to us. They always, Mahakumbh, we're just witnessing, and people all over the world, they are coming. It is the largest human gathering. Yeah, please. I guess you must.
Mahakumbh is a global event now. Mahakumbh, either which way, was the largest religious gathering in the world. And now it has gone way beyond religious gathering. It's a gathering of people of all faiths and cultures. I'm going to just keep it on the topic of wellness. And in that sense, talk to us, tourism coming into India. You know, they want to go back with that glow. And that glow is both physical and mental, isn't it? Now, how they come and they cleanse their internals and externals in India.
Absolutely. So, India is on the global platform, I do feel. You know, from the time when we were thought of as a developing nation, we are fast on the on the path to becoming almost a developed nation. So, we are doing really well where it comes to tourism. And Sadhvi ji has just spoken about mental health. So let me tell you about the physical aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
Because medical tourism is a big thing now in India. We have patients who are coming from all across the world, and they come here for all kinds of complex diseases, for all kinds of complex surgeries. And believe me, we are doing them so well, and we are doing them at a fraction of the cost which it would which they would augur if they were in the West. So right from things like, the most complex of surgeries, to even things like plastic surgeries, to things like, even mental wellness resorts, which are doing so well. We have yoga, we have meditation. India is the home to so many different things. And I think with the global platform that we are on, I think everybody now recognizes the strengths of India.
Absolutely. Once upon a time, I remember Coimbatore and Tamil Nadu used to get so much of medical tourism, Ayurveda-based tourism for the longest time. And at that point in time, there was no talk of this term called wellness tourism. It was just happening. People discovered whoever knew came down, got their treatment done, and went back with that smile and that glow on their face. From there to now, specific treatments. People from overseas coming to India for specific treatment. People from other parts of India going to a specific part of India for specific medical and wellness treatments. We've come a long way, haven't we?
Absolutely. I think, when you talk about wellness, of course, what is seen on the face as a glow is very, very relevant when we talk about wellness. If you just see a person who, doesn't have that kind of, reflectance on the face, probably we get to understand, maybe, she's not mentally well or she's not feeling well about it. So I think when we talk about the skin health or, overall our body's health and wellness, it is very well interlinked. And I think we get a lot of people who are coming from overseas for these treatments in India. So I think we are not behind any of the countries. And, to be very frank, I get a lot of people who are coming from other countries to avail sessions just for maybe, skin enhancements and maybe for youthful appearances of the face and, maybe very simple treatments as well, maybe
Hair
dermatological. Yes, of course, plastic surgery, hair transplantation, even small skin surgeries which are there or, treatments, lasers. Laser treatments, hair reduction.
International cricketers come to India, get their hair transplanted and end up becoming the brand ambassador of the place where they got their hair transplanted.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's a big platform for India right now, the way we are shining. And I think we are one of world leaders in the same.
We're a world leader already. साध्वी जी, मैं ये पूछना चाहूँगा कि एक तो ये है कि इंडिया का सबसे बेस्ट गिफ्ट टू द वर्ल्ड दैट मोदी जी भी कई बार कहते हुए आए हैं, दैट इज योगा. Yoga plus Ayurveda becomes a fantastic combination to offer tourists from India and overseas, something that no other country offers, isn't it?
Absolutely, because this is the one combination, of Ayurveda, because Ayurveda carries utmost importance to us Indians, and not only to us Indians right now, because a lot of awareness has been created globally about it. ऐसी diseases हैं, which are not treated by allopathy right now, or it takes a lot of time. But Ayurveda provides you solutions with that. Ayurvedic medicines also, you know, the Abhyangam there, the treatments, the bastis. We have a lot of bastis because we work in Ayurveda sector also. So see, if you have a headache, for example, we take a simple tranquilizer, you know, or we go for some other medicine. But Ayurveda, Crocin, yeah. I guess we are just branding Crocin.
Okay, paracetamol.
Yeah, Dolo. So, but the thing is, ki, like now the Ayurveda provides you with a lot of good Ayurvedic treatments, home remedies, you know, the bastis, the Shiro Basti, the Shiro Dhara, that provides you with mental wellness as well. So, if I talk about the overall holistic wellness of a human being, you know, we are very much we know how to carry ourselves, you know, we know that today is the conclave, we are going there, what we're gonna wear, people we meet, you know, how to dress up, how to walk, how to talk. We don't need anybody to guide us. But now, talking about mental and spiritual factors, I guess still we need to raise awareness. See, of course, India has gone miles beyond. Spiritual tourism, if we talk about it, it has enhanced with medical tourism. Because spiritual tourism एक ऐसी चीज़ है which has always attracted people from abroad, from Europe, from Canada, from America. When I went to Mahakumbh like few days back, I met delegation from Israel, from Germany, from Spain. I spoke to them, I talked to them. We were talking about India's richness. So this brings a lot of pride in you, you know, that you are able to give back to the world.
And that used to be usually Kashi and Rameshwaram.
Yeah.
But now you have Ayodhya added to that.
Yeah, Ayodhya added to that, and also, you know, like I know this is a matter of concern that there was 300 kilometers long jam, but it is a matter of pride also that people from all across the globe, they are looking up to you. And as you said beautifully, like India has been rising as a geopolitical leader also, you know, be it we talk about the indigenous defense production, digital expertise of our country, or maybe we can talk about the spiritual tourism of our country. So this is the thing that we cannot, this is the factor we cannot ignore. But having said this, I would focus on this, that we as human beings, we must, you know, talk more about mental wellness and spiritual wellness of a human being as well. Because we people are educated, we have a lot of degrees in hands, but as our scriptures say, Chanakya has beautifully said, Vidya dadati vinayam. Knowledge brings a lot of humility, but today knowledge is bringing a lot of ego as well. So being a spiritual leader or being a spiritual mentor, I would urge this to everybody, that wherever you go, just become more humble. No matter how much you grow, humility is the ornament that we must carry.
You're talking about Sri Krishna ji. You know, the one line that I always love that tells me there is no need to have fear is Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So there's nothing to worry, because whenever there is injustice, Krishna ji will be here, God will be here to fix that injustice. That sort of leaves us fearless. Adding to how we keep ourselves happy, not having fear is very important to be happy. I want to ask you, this is a big opportunity, huge potential, still, despite all the knowledge and the promotion, still so much remains untapped. But to develop anything, you need an entire ecosystem for it. You need the right infrastructure. You need the right set of skilled, trained people. In that sense, we have miles to catch up on that front, isn't it?
Absolutely. So, given the fact that we are doing really well in the medical field, I still feel that, you know, we are not really equipped to handle the number of patients and the population that is there in our country. So we have the, you know, top of the line kind of hospitals, we have top of the line kind of equipments, we have top of the line doctors. Indian doctors are everywhere. So even in your serials and shows, you'll find that, you know, wherever there is an actor, he's an Indian person playing the doctor. So, you know...
that was the first made in India.
Yes.
We kept making doctors in India and exporting them.
Yes. So, you know, that should not be one of the reasons why people should be going from here to other countries. We should have enough number of hospitals. We should have smallest of centers where we are able to cater to the population. And not just that, you know, there will be so many more people who will come in case we promote that. Because, you know, a lot of times it's not being promoted still. So we do need to have people with a holistic kind of a health which is being promoted. So not just the physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, all kinds of health should be promoted. And I think the tourism sector should also take it upon themselves, to have these kind of collaborations like we're having today, whereby we can talk about being partners in something like this.
Interesting, isn't it? The tour operators and the travel ecosystem doesn't, traditionally work with doctors. Doesn't work with people like Sadhvi Pragyaji. Traditionally speaking, it's changing now. A lot has changed now. In that sense, there needs to be more structured approach, isn't it? Itineraries, like a general vacation itinerary, one part of it, when they come to India, can be about wellness. And then they can go see all the monuments and all the other things, isn't it, Dr. Priya Pooja?
I think it's very, very important, whenever we go to places like Goa, we see that so many, it's a spot of people where, we get so many international travelers coming there. They are able to kind of, observe the way our culture is, the Portuguese influence, they go to churches. But at the same time, if we have wellness centers, which can kind of treat them overall, maybe, spiritually or overall the health and the body and the mind, maybe some specific treatments as well, if they are interested of keeping their skins or hair or, bodies to be more up to date and upgraded. I think that's a very well needed thing of the hour, and all the places which are garnering so many people in the tourism sector can have one of these wellness centers, and we can all participate, in that the wellness center organization and contribute well.
And that's why we have events like the World Travel and Tourism Festival to begin those conversations so that becomes a reality very soon. And the fact that India has so much to offer in terms of mental wellness to the world at a time when the world is really troubled outside of India. They have wars going on all over the world. India can offer that much needed wellness relief. I'm afraid this conversation can go on for another hour for sure, but we have completely run out of time over here. Sadhvi Pragyaji, Dr. Shelly, Dr. Priya, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us and being part of the Travel and Tourism Festival and sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you so much. Thank you.